Good morning. I am traveling. It's a crazy setup. I apologize, but a promise is a promise, and I'm going to do a reading for today. Not quite as professionally presented in my little niece's room. And yet here we go. This day's reading is from the Aquarian Tarot. Oh, lovely. We have the Two of Cups. We have the Page of Cups, some watery energy today already. And we have the Huayra Font. I like all of this. Well, let's start with the Two of Cups. This is a beautifully even exchange is how I think of the Two of Cups. We are, of course, talking about an emotional exchange, an intuitive, I would say, meeting of equals. There are so many dynamics that go into giving and receiving. Constant, complicated dynamics, whether you're talking about a personal relationship or you're talking about a work relationship or, even buying something at a store. And the Two of Cups brings that into its purest, sweetest form. So the card is just telling us that there's opportunity today to find a way to give and find a way to receive and to practice giving and to practice receiving in ways that aren't counting up tit for tat, that aren't like enabling or getting wrapped into a power dynamic. This is an amazingly healing practice. It also ties into gratitude. Gratitude and just counting up your blessings is a way of practicing this kind of receiving. And that brings us to the Page of Cups. The Page of Cups, another water card, of course. Now this is the earthy part of water. This is sort of like applied water, and curiosity always comes into play for me when I think of the pages. They're almost the children, the childlike spirit of the suit, of the deck in a way. They're playful, they're curious, they're here to learn. They're here to learn through play, learning through play. This is how people develop, and this is kind of almost a developmental stage that we should always be tapping into in each of the suits. And the Page of Cups in this case is sort of bringing like a lightheartedness to this practice today, to our opportunity to meet each other with kind of like a purity of heart. And the page is a purity of heart, and it's the practice of that, the practice, putting that into the practice, the earthy part of it, doing it with our hands, doing it with our actions, doing it in concrete ways. And then we have the Huayra Font. I love this card. He's one of the oft misunderstood major arcana dudes. We have so much toxic masculinity ideas in our culture and in the tarot, in these little Victorian constructed medieval Renaissance, like, all I'm saying is that there's a lot of European patriarchal bullshit in the tarot. And sometimes, but there's also a root to it, and the root is the truth. And the truth is not patriarchal. Going off on a little bit of a tangent just to say that the Hierophant often represents, or is often misunderstood to represent, kind of like dogmatic religious structures, and especially ones that are sort of passed down from a male authority. we go from the Emperor to the Hierophant in that way. But the Hierophant is, in fact, a teacher, a gatekeeper, an initiation, someone who initiates others into spiritual knowledge. And there's basically a Hierophant in each of us. And sometimes when you're ready for an initiation, when you're ready to receive more truth, he's basically a gatekeeper of the truth. So there's a gatekeeper inside each of us that is ready to move into the next level, the next initiation. So this is coming into play today. And sometimes when we're ready for that, a real life teacher comes around, or a group, or a new practice, like this practice of tarot that we're practicing now. But the Hierophant is here, present with us today. There's some availability for stepping into a deeper level and opening up to more understanding and more experience. You know, this is not just understanding, it's not just knowledge, it's experiential. That's what magic is. Magic is not faith, it is experience. It is an essentially mystical practice. That's what all the occult is. So the Hierophant is, it's coming at us today. There is some availability for getting some into the next level of experience and spiritual experience. And I'm going to say it's coming through this Two of Cups. It's coming through some real heart-to-heart, heartfelt meeting of equals. And it's only going to come if you have a bit of lighthearted openness towards it, you know, and if you actually show up to the work. In a sense, pentacles are always work. I mean, cups, not pentacles, but earth. The earthy part of cups are always work. And in this case, this is the work of showing up to this kind of vulnerability and this kind of courage, and to this kind of vulnerability and this kind of courage. We've been getting this lately. It got a lot of the Lovers and the Two of Cups, which is just sort of getting at the spiritual life and the personal growth situation through personal relationships, through love relationships, whether that be family love or lover love. And that's, yeah, makes all the sense, it being the holidays and we're all sort of connecting with people that we love, whether it's easy or not. So this is your reading for today. This is Raven in my unusual situation. I'll be back home in maybe 3 days. So bear with me, and I invite you to click in the bio, and I invite you to click on the banner and get yourself a full reading from me for the holidays and for the new year. Well, much love to all of you on this day, right after the solstice, leading up to Christmas, because the second day of Hanukkah. So, sending you a lot of love. I'll see you tomorrow. Goodbye.